Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dakota Fundraising News Podcast. We are here from our Philadelphia studios. As always, you've got myself, Konch, Roberto behind the mic. It is fall in Philadelphia. The Philadelphia 76ers have finally won 2 games. That's very exciting.
I got to stop you real quick. It's also Roberto's birthday.
Whoa. It's Roberto's birthday as we're recording this. Look at me. Bad host. Roberto, happy birthday. We thank you for everything that you're doing. You're very appreciated.
Happy birthday, Roberto.
Cool. Well, cancel the sports talk then. Let's just jump into it. So we want to start off with a quick article of interest. Everyone probably saw this in the news, either in Dakota or elsewhere, but it's not for sure yet, but it looks like BlackRock is in talks to buy a stake in Millennium. Millennium, $70 billion hedge fund, obviously household name, huge, very important, and BlackRock, obviously also one of the largest firms in the world. The fact that that's happening is huge. Millennium's never taken an outside stake from anyone. It really speaks to the fact that they maybe don't have as well of a succession plan as they thought they did. I don't mean to assume what's going on there at Millennium, but that's sort of the rumor on the street. So very exciting. We'll be excited to keep talking about this. BlackRock just can't stop acquiring companies, really.
Yeah, they're on a roll. I'll have to talk to an old friend of mine, Phil, over at Millennium to see how he's feeling about that. But we'll jump into job changes now. Starting out in Canada, AIMCo, Canadian Public Pension Plan, they've announced a new interim CEO. So Ray Gilmour, he'll be the new interim CEO, replacing Evan Siddell. Staying on job changes, PPM America Capital Partners, the private equity arm of PPM America, they have recruited former Intrinsic Edge Capital executive Bhumika Gashti. Apologies on the pronunciation there if I have it wrong. But Gashti will be the new senior managing director of investor relations there. So congrats to him.
Yeah, that's awesome. To round out this segment, Northern Trust Asset Management has announced the addition of Jan Rohof as their new Director of Quantitative Solutions for the APAC, Asia Pacific region. That is one of just a number of new commitments they've made on their quant teams globally. So check out more in Dakota Marketplace for all of that. Just to keep rolling here, we'll talk RIA, merger and acquisition activity. We have something we want to call out in Southern California. I'm actually headed that way for Thanksgiving in just a few weeks. LPL Financial has added a 6-person team called Nexus Wealth Partners. They were previously with Osaic. They have about $410 million under advisory, and that is part of a 8-month search for a new wealth management firm. Very exciting stuff. The team's led by Scott Nelson and Cami Abraham. They have combined over 28 years of experience in the industry, so huge win for LPL.
Love it. Yeah, just moving on here. Kingsview Partners next we'll touch on. They've recruited an advisor from Edward Jones, so Greg Lafreniere. Hopefully I have the last name pronunciation there right, but he'll be joining.
My French is not going to help you here.
Yeah, but Lafreniere will be joining Kingsview Partners. He'll be operating out of Iron Mountain, Michigan. And then to round this off here, Wedbush Securities, they have expanded right here in Philadelphia, where our home office is. They have added McCall Connolly Group. This group is composed of their founders, Mike McCall and Mike Connolly. Not a ton as far as active searches, Pat, but a couple updates and then a consultant search that we'll touch on here in a second. So why don't you let us know what's going on in Marin?
Yeah, Marin County in San Francisco. They use Callan as their consultant. Jim Callahan and Jay Klopfer are going to be those field consultants for you. Just over $3 billion under management up there at Marin County. And they have released an update for their fixed income search. We covered the fact that that search was happening a few weeks ago, maybe even a few months ago now. But they are recommending a replacement to Western Asset Management. The following 4 firms are being considered: Dodge & Cox, Fidelity Institutional, Loomis Sales, and PGIM. Incidentally, all 4 of those are very good friends of the firm here at Dakota. So we wish the best of luck for all 4 of them who have been selected to interview. A good friend of mine works at Loomis, so I'm biased and hoping that they get the win there, but hope that it works out okay for everyone involved. Staying in California, but just coming dramatically south, we have the San Diego County Employees Retirement on the search for a new investment consultant. They have $17 billion under management. They currently use Aon. The deadline for this is December 13th. So about a month, actually, almost exactly a month to the day. Maybe, no, exactly a month to the day from when you're listening to this is when that search is due. So good luck to all the consultants who may be listening.
Awesome. Yeah, we have a ton of information consultants in marketplace, and then we've been publishing blogs around consultant-led allocations across all asset classes. So shout out to one of our marketing associates here, Morgan Holycross. You can find those blogs on our website, dakota.com. We'll move on to new investments, though. A ton on our website as far as new investments as well. Shout out to Matt Hurst and our whole editorial team on the work that they're doing. But if you're not reading it on our website, you can hear it here. First one coming out of Massachusetts, Mass PRIM, massive $100 billion pension plan. They leverage NEPC and Hamilton Lane for their consultants. This comes out of a very recent meeting. So 4 commitments across venture and private equity, $25 million to Forerunner Partners 7, that's a venture capital fund, $20 million to Cohere Capital Fund 2, $20 million to Alfie Capital 1, and then $5 million to KLC Fund 2.
Nice. I'll take us back to San Francisco, but this time for San Francisco employees retirement, $41 billion under management using Wilshire, Callan, Cambridge, ton of consultants. But they have made commitments as well to a venture fund, early stage venture with LAV. That is the LAV Fund 7, $50 million, like I said. And then hedge fund, Voleon Institutional Strategies Fund, $50 million as well. I don't believe I'm pronouncing that right, but that firm is Voleon, Voleon. So jumping to the middle of the country, Ohio Police and Fire Pension Fund. They obviously need to be buying tickets to Ohio State, who looks like they're going to be making the playoff run this year. $18 billion under management, and they've recently made commitments to Grain, and that's the Grain Communications Fund 4. That is a global infrastructure fund. That was an $80 million commitment.
Yeah, great. I'll close this out here. Covering an endowment, a little change of pace here. So anytime we can cover endowments for foundations or anything out of the ordinary, we will. This one's coming out of Birmingham, Alabama. So University of Alabama endowment, about a little under $7 billion in assets. They leverage FEG, Fund Evaluation Group, as their consultant. 3 recent commitments here that they've disclosed: $20 million going to Hollyport Secondaries Opportunities Fund 9, private equity fund. Within venture, $8.5 million going to Atlas Venture Fund 14. And then lastly here, $20 million to Pearl Energy Investment Fund 4. That's a natural resources fund.
Nice. It'd be fun to see, I'm thinking out loud here, I wonder if there would ever be a way where Jalen Milroe at University of Alabama could invest his NIL money with the endowment, or have the people who are managing the endowment help manage his NIL money.
Interesting. I don't know if the student athletes have thought that far yet. Maybe they have.
They should start. They should tap me in.
Fundraising updates, Pat. A couple updates that we've published here on our website just the other day. Transom Capital closing out buyout fund 4. Why don't you tell us some more about that?
Yeah, Transom Capital, middle market buyout fund, a name you all have heard for sure, based in LA. They have made their final close on Transom Fund 4. That is a $675 million close, but when you start to add in co-invest commitments, it got up to over $750 million. That exceeds both the target and the initial hard caps. They had some restructuring to do, but obviously for very good reasons. So very exciting there. Largely pensions, foundations, corporates, insurance company, fund of funds, endowments, and then a handful of family offices involved in that raise.
Sweet. Yeah, and then I'll close out this last segment here. Beechbrook, a UK and European lower middle market private debt manager. They've announced their first close of their 4th UK private credit fund, about £151 million on the first close there. Commitments from this first close include separately managed accounts, and then a $40 million commitment from the British Business Investments, a subsidiary of government-owned deployment bank of the British Business Bank. Any last words for us here, Pat?
Yeah, not a ton. We thank everyone for listening in. As always, we do have 3 upcoming Dakota cocktails to round out the year, and then we're coming back in force in the new year. Just a quick teaser as well. There'll be a broader Dakota conference coming up next year. So keep your eye out for that. We'll be covering that in depth here. Maybe we'll even have
live fundraising
news at the podcast. I think we will be doing things like that, so I would be prepared. San Francisco and Palm Beach will be in both of them at the same day, actually, on November 20th. That is next Wednesday. Our team is splitting up. We'll have leadership and folks that you recognize from the Dakota Live call and our podcasts at both. And then New York City on December 3rd. That'll be our last official Dakota Cocktails for the year. I'll be there. It's at the University Club in New York. Last year we hosted that winter sort of December Dakota Cocktail event in New York and had, I think, something like 350 people there. So you won't want to miss it. They're calling it the party of the industry. It's very fun. It's very exciting. Guy will speak. It'll be great. Thank you, everyone, as always, for listening in. We hope to see you at one of those events. If not, we hope to hear your feedback soon, and you will hear our voices again later this week.
Thanks, guys.
This episode is brought to you by Dakota Marketplace. Are you tired of constantly jumping between multiple databases and channels to find the right investment opportunities? Introducing Dakota Marketplace, the comprehensive institutional and intermediary database built by fundraisers for fundraisers. With Dakota Marketplace, you'll have access to all channels and asset classes in one place, saving you time and streamlining your fundraising process. Say goodbye to the frustration of searching through multiple databases, websites, Form ADVs, and say hello to a seamless and efficient fundraising experience. Sign up now and see the difference Dakota Marketplace can make for you. Visit dakota.com/Dakota-Marketplace today.